Yo, what's going on, guys? And before we start today's video, if you just want to hear my prediction for the Cavs versus the Pacers, just skip to the end of the video. But today we'll break down both sides and just discuss what their strengths are, what we think of both teams, and who we want. Now, not who we want, but who we expect to win. I have no stake in this fight. Now, I want to hear who you guys think will win down below in the comments. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys want more content like this, like, comment, subscribe, and go check out my work at hoopshype.com as I do multimedia journalism for them. Now let's get right into it. And we're going to start with the Cavaliers because, my God, I was at these games in Miami. Thankfully, shout out the Miami Heat organization. Allowed me to be a credentialed media there, and man, talk about a depressing atmosphere. The Cavaliers, as a result, are the best in every statistic for playoff teams you can imagine. First in points per game, second in opponent points per game, first in net rating, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, true shooting, all the good stuff. The fact is the Cavs exploded offensively. They just demolished the Heat, and they just lead every team in all shooting margins. So they did this without Darius Garland, by the way, who has like a big toe injury. And for anyone who's like, just a toe injury, if you've never had turf toe or any sort of foot like pain, I can't tell you how excruciating it is to play. I just went through my post-tibial tendon like being like partially torn and stuff like that, and it happened in November, and it probably took me like 6 months to get out like fully back to like being normal. Now Darius Garland, when he did play, 24 points, 7 assists, 24 points from Donovan Mitchell. Evan Mobley's just, I kind of started to think about this. Your guards get you to the playoffs, but the teams that have guards and bigs like Jared Allen, who just look like a machine, dominating on the glass, he's super efficient, being a major interior presence, but then having guys like Evan Mobley, Chet Holmgren, vice versa for the Thunder. Those are the type of guys that get you down the playoffs, being able to stretch the floor of three-level scorers, rim protection, having that two-way impact when the teams are going to double up on Donovan and Darius on the perimeter. And they need to just, be able to go from shooting threes to playing inside. However, they have Ty Jerome, who's instant offense off the bench. They have their X Factor and DeAndre Hunter, who's a Swiss Army knife, who's a great shooter. Sam Merrill, a sniper, great secondary ball mover also. Another guy, Dean Wade, came in, made some plays. Now, look, they were still the number one scoring team in the regular season, and they allowed 112 points during the regular season. This was 95 points. Obviously, that's a 17-point per game difference. That's not going to carry over into the series. But the fact that they came in, Cleveland just was able to even level up their efficiency perimeter shooting, just making them seem like an arguably complete team, which they are. Now, the Heat were the 10th seed. So they really beat their opponents down. However, I think the spacing that Mobley provides now with his shot, especially being surrounded by Strus, Hunter, Garland, Donovan, and then having Allen being able to absorb all those rebounds, and then on the defensive end, having the paint dominance of Allen and Mobley, just deterring people from entering the paint, and just having the bench production to go deep enough to win without their stars having to overextend themselves is huge. That's how you win these things. So we're gonna go over to the Pacers. I think that's a really big thing. Is we just have to talk about both teams are deep. Pause for a second, but what I mean by that is their bench, their depth. It's remarkable what they've been able to do over the last few years, develop players. As Pacers, another team, third in the regular season, they're points per game. All their sets are almost identical to the playoffs. So right now, if not, they're better. Like the Pacers are just as efficient, more composed offensively. They're hitting more threes. They're turning the ball less, and they're actually passing incredibly well. Now, they're being able to do all of this without Tyrese Haliburton being the star guy. He's scoring less and shooting less than he usually does, but his playmaking and his decision making and his efficiency has been what wins them. 12 assists per game, baby. And Pascal Siakam just coming in and already having an incredible season that I've said repeatedly. Top 15 player, top 20 at least in the NBA. This series, 20-6, efficient, hitting his threes, being the complete player. There's a reason why he won a championship with the Raptors. There's a reason why he was a commodity when he was available for trade. Then Andrew Nembhard, a guy that you wouldn't necessarily think that would be the perfect sidekick in the backcourt to a Tyrese Haliburton, but that shooting split, baby, the guy could not miss, and he really took a big leap right here. And in the regular season, he was struggling to hit the side of the barn, but he's a great secondary playmaker and really can help run the floor when Tyrese is off the floor. And then when he's on there, he's able to be this defensive kind of like combo guard who really helps him out. And then Miles Turner's doing exactly his role: rim protection, stretch, big combo. 17 points, 2.5 blocks, hitting his shots. Obviously, we always wish he could rebound more, but the same thing we say about Jaren Jackson Jr. Everybody has their flaws. Then Aaron Nesmith, that defensive, rebounding, floor spacing, role player maximize that you love. And you have a volume scorer who, even if he's struggling from deep, he's still going to try to find a shot because he doesn't have a shot he doesn't like in the Montreal native and Benedict Mathurin. Is it Mathurin or Mathurin? I always thought it was Mathurin. I heard someone say Mathurin the other day. It's Mathurin, right? It's Benedict Mathurin. TJ McConnell. Just God, I love TJ McConnell. He passes so well. And then you got Obi Toppin, who's just become a really efficient, high-energy slasher, off-ball finisher. And you get a little sprinkle in of Jarris Walker, who McConnell and Toppin and Mathurin all provide the stability, and then you kind of have depth if you need stuff. So when you look at this, obviously, I think Indiana has been strong offensively. They're both good teams. Should we keep the highlights in the background, or we just go to me? Because this is where it gets difficult. I think the Indiana Pacers have been strong offensively, and I think this is one of those series that I do think is gonna go down to the wire. And Cleveland's defense and efficiency is obviously going to be something that it's not going to be at the level that it is right where it was against the Heat, but one could think that they might have an advantage over the Pacers in that. But the Pacers will need to push the tempo to disrupt Cleveland's defensive rhythm. But with Pascal Siakam, Mr. Tyrese Haliburton, Miles Turner, Aaron Nesmith, and the boys, they have enough to do that, I think. In theory, Andrew Nembhard, all these guys are capable of pushing the pace. And the Pacers move the ball really well. They're going to have to continue the spacing and playing with this off-ball style. That's going to have to pull and challenge Evan Mobley and Jared Allen out of the interior. While the Cavs are going to want to flush them in. They're going to try to get them to go inside and play inside and take them out of the game. And the biggest thing is Tyrese is going to have to get up to his normal self that he was playing at the regular season if they want. Because I think the Cavs have the advantage in a lot of things. So the best ball movement in the playoffs is going to be something that I think is going to carry over. They move the ball well, and they have elite spacing. Now, they're doing a better job rebounding. However, their defensive ability to stop Garland and Mitchell, will they be able to also stop those kind of like cold streaks they can go on. I think that's where it becomes difficult. To me, I think the Pacers are dark horses to take this away from the Cavs. But I think the Cavs in 7 games, they could do it in 6, but I think in 7, the Cavs win it. They're just such a deep team. But the Pacers are more than capable. And like, I think the Pacers, if they were to win this, the Pacers would be the team to upset, be the dark horse then to come out the East, because they have everything you'd want. But I just think the Cavs are deeper. They have the size. They just dismantled the Heat without Garland. So I'm going to go with the Cavs. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think? Goodbye. Peace out. Ciao.